Today's topic is Jesus, and it's centered around the verse John chapter 14, verse 6. Jesus answered, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. And I'm going to divide this into two parts: the way, the truth, and the life. Now, the way. The way means to walk with God. When you're walking with God, you're walking the narrow path. And since you're walking the narrow path, you will follow God's standards and live by God's standard and not your own standards. And you will also only follow God and walk the narrow path because you want to and you feel curious. Like when you feel curious about learning something that you're very interested in, and you will only feel that because you're curious about that after you get to know that it exists. So you're curious about it. For example, me, I'm interested in art and I don't know how three-dimensional art works and can be made, but I know the basis of it, but I don't know the advanced version. I'm curious to learn the advanced version. That's the only reason I will learn them and still have the curiosity to learn them, and in the future learn them. And just like this, the way, in the future you'll keep walking the way because you're still curious, and you'll always walk the way with humility because again, you're following God and you're living by His ways. So these set things happen, and these set things are what you're supposed to examine when you examine, test yourself if you're actually walking the way, which is Jesus Christ. Now the second part, which is the truth and the life. In John chapter 14, verse 15, it says, if you love me, keep my commands. That's what Jesus says. And he says this because you're not walking the way. If you examine yourself and you see that you're actually walking the way, you will also see these traits. You live by God and you live with God. As in, you have God in your daily life, not just on the Sundays, not just on Christmas, not just on Easter, but every single day. Because you live with God, you live by God, and you reflect God. And reflecting God means to bearing this image like an image bearer or like a herald. In in Fantastic Four, the new movie, the Herald, Silver Surfer, showed the traits of Galactus. In the same way, we're supposed to show the traits of God and reflect His image and build an atmosphere that destroys the corrupt atmosphere around us and helps people grow better or become good, I guess. But not because of you. When you accept God, you have humility and you have His trait again. And in the end, you will observe that you live the way, you live the truth, and you live the life. And these are actually the traits that you're supposed, if you actually see these traits in your life and examine yourself in your daily life consistently, you'll be living the way, you'll be living the truth, living the life. God bless all. Have a great day.